Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. 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 Ekamaksharam Hridhi Nirantaram Bhasate Swayam Likyate Katham हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् यहमहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जता वा पवनचलनरोधा आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम् तेऽहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभाव सुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिय दृष्टात्मनिष्ठात्मना सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. Namo Ramana. In today's Thursday Satsang, we read two verses chosen from the Guruvachaka Kovai, which is the poetical rendition of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's Upadesha, and we meditate on the meaning of these two verses and we sit down for self-enquiry for a few minutes while we meditate on each of these verses. The two meditation and enquiry sessions will be continued by a summing up by Venkatesh Despande, and we conclude today's satsang with the offering of Ashtottar Puja by Vaibhavji and Prarthanama. Let us read the first verse chosen for today's satsang. The verses are chosen by Kumari Revati Shankar. The first verse is verse number 80. The self that is encountered in the self-shining true state of Turiya is the broad and shady Bodhi tree that frees Jiva completely from the triple miseries, Tapatraya, that they experience by running around in the desert, that sapless and empty water, empty world dream which appears through the whirling of the ancient vasanas. Once again, the self that is encountered, the self, S capital self, the true self that is encountered in the self-shining true state of Turiya is the broad and shady Bodhi tree that frees Jiva completely from the triple miseries, Tapatraya, that they experience by running around in the desert, that sapless and empty world dream which appears through the whirling of the ancient vasanas. Here's an explanation about what is Turiya. Turiya is the fourth state, the underlying substratum in which the three states of waking, dreaming, and sleep alternately manifest. Once again, Turiya is the fourth state, the underlying substratum in which the three states of waking, dream, and sleep alternatively manifest. The triple miseries, tapatraya, are those brought about by oneself. These are there are three kinds of miseries. The tapatraya, the first one is brought about by oneself. The second one is those brought about by natural events and those that occur as a result of fate or supernatural agencies. The Tapatraya are referred to in the following verse from the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam, it is told that of what avail will be the wealth and object of enjoyment gained by great effort for a man who is naturally subjected to three types of suffering caused by his own body and mind. It is called Adhyatmika. By external natural forces, Adi Bhautika, and by extra human agencies, Adi Daivika. So these are the three tapatrayas. So if you ask any human being, they will say that I have all these miseries. Some miseries we inflict ourselves. We are simply thinking about something and getting worried or getting anxious. So that is the Adhyatmika Tapatraya, one of the Tapatraya. And something which happens naturally. There are volcanoes, there are earthquakes, we are simply somebody is going on the road, a tree falls, and the work they have to go, they are not able to go. These are the Adi Bhautika and something which is beyond our understanding. They are called the Adi Daivika, the extra human agency, which we call fate. And Bhagavan says we can get rid of these three miseries, the Tapatraya, by coming in under the shade of this huge tree called the self. And where is this self? Self is available to us in the state of Turiya. What is this Turiya? We can't understand Turiya. We have never experienced Turiya. If somebody says, Ramana says, it is the fourth state, but it is not different from all the other three states which we are aware of. It is the underlying substratum of these three states called the waking. If you understand that you are awake, the substratum of this state is that Turiya state. And if you are dreaming, and if you are able to understand that you are in a dream, then the substratum of that dream state is also Turiya. And deep sleep state, when we don't know anything, even in that state, the Turiya is available. That is the state which makes us continuous, which brings continuity in our lives. We don't say the waking eye is different from the dreaming eye. The dreaming eye is different from the sleeping eye. We understand? The same eye, I'm awake. When I lie down on the bed, I am dreaming. And then unknowingly, I went to sleep. Then we wake up again and say, I am awake. So Ramana is reminding us, you say I. That I is the self which is available to you in the Turiya state. So it is available here and now. Instead of getting worried about all these miseries, the only solution to all miseries is to understand your own true self. And that he says is like the Bodhi tree. We all know that the Bodhi tree is a tree under which Gautama Buddha, he was called Siddhartha before, the Siddhartha became Buddha, the enlightened one. So that Bodhi tree under which Buddha got enlightened is available to each one of us in this very moment as the underlying substratum, which is the Turiya state. But instead of paying attention to this underlying substratum, we are caught up in solving the problems that are appearing in the waking state. And we even are trying to solve the problems in our dream state. In a dream, if something is happening, we want to find solutions. We want to be safe in our dream. But Ramana is reminding us this world itself is a dream and it is the sapless. When he says sapless, it does not have any water, it cannot quench our thirst. So, only place where we can truly quench our thirst and truly find solace is in this under this Bodhi tree called the self. And Ramana assures that it is available as the substratum. So, we will sit down for self enquiry, but understanding that the self, that shade of Bodhi tree is available here and now. And if a thought arises, that thought is taking us away from our natural state of Turiya and it is taking us to problems. So when the thought arises, instead of pursuing that thought, quickly we need to ask, for whom is this thought? And the thought is cut at that point, and the attention turns towards the heart, which is the self. And one needs to ask the question, who am I? And hold on to this question until we understand, we realize that we are always under the shade of this Bodhi tree. And this Bodhi tree called Turiya is all pervading wherever you go, whatever state you are in, whatever situation you are in, that tree, the shade of that self is available all the time. So until we realize the presence of that broad shady Bodhi tree called the self, let us practice self enquiry. Let us practice self enquiry for the next 10 minutes. Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Let us read second verse chosen for today's satsang. Verse number 344. Only those who have searched within inward attention for the Lord of Jiva inside the temple of that extremely subtle Jiva, and by indisputably found him, thereby gaining a clear understanding, will also be able to see unwaveringly his Swarupa shining undividedly in the astonishingly great temple of the world. Bhagavan is telling only those who have searched with inward attention for the Lord of Jiva inside the temple of that extremely subtle Jiva, and has indisputably found